latest I Got My Shot campaign. This is the Orange County Mobile Vaccine Pop-Up Tour Bus is what I call it. This is the marketing campaign to go get the younger people, and they just park this thing downtown and vaccinate people. Right now it's at Lake Eola. It was at the farmer's market last weekend. It's here at Lake Eola by the band shell every Wednesday morning, vaccinating people from 9 to 11:30 a.m. with the oh-so-safe Johnson & Johnson 1 dose that was pulled off the market for the blood clotting, which could have been pulled off for a laundry list of issues, but now it's just conveniently back on the market. So we're out at the I Got My Shot campaign, giving the I Got Informed Consent campaign to all of the nice people sitting and waiting before and after their shot. Everybody's been really nice to me so far, all the volunteers. I've been given water and been left alone by the police and park security. So just educating people out here, showing the Orange County government that vaccine hesitancy is real and the information that we're spreading is verifiable facts, not misinformation like the mainstream media would have you believe. You know, in talking to a FEMA worker and a nurse at the last event that I did, it was very telling to me that the strategy in which we use to craft our messaging and the way that we educate out here, not protesting, it's very important that you try to stay away from the word and the term protesting, because really all we're doing is educating and offering informed consent. There's nothing here to protest. I'm not anti anything necessarily. I am just educating people about the risks of vaccines. Not so well-known facts like the 5 things you need to know, but also other facts about the entire childhood vaccine schedule. And to avoid any other smear campaigns, we are not telling people not to get the vaccine. We are not blocking the entrance. We are just, again, every time simply educating people about the risks. And you get way less bad press that way. People look at you as not combative. They kind of meet you at a common ground. You know, the one FEMA worker said specifically, you know, I thought I was going to come over here and your sign was going to say something disrespectful or, you know, like an opinion about vaccines. And I was like, no, actually, they're not. And she goes, yeah, no, I read your card and I was reading them going, well, that's true. Or, wow, I didn't know that. And that sounds like it's true. I can look that up as well. So she could tell that our information was solid, and that's why I think it's so dangerous, and that's why they call it misinformation. That's why they tell everyone that we're a public health threat, because this information would crumble the vaccine industry and the corrupt and bought and paid for science that surrounds it. It's unfortunately not science, it's corporate propaganda. And you know, just look at the donors of the CDC. I mean, let's be real. The CDC is not a government organization. You know, a lot of people, the 2 biggest misconceptions, that the CDC and the Federal Reserve are part of the federal government. No. The Federal Reserve is a private bank. That's who owns our money, a private foreign company. And the agency dictating public health policy, the CDC, is not a government agency either. Go look at their list of donors. I'll post it in the comments under this video. It's Big Pharma. It's Bill Gates. It's the usual suspects, the very people that stand to gain from this crisis. So just think twice when you're taking recommendations from the CDC. They are so desperate at this point that they are giving away donuts, weed, cash, gift cards, public subs. This campaign they're doing, the hashtag I Got My Shot, is basically come get your shot, take a selfie, post it. Last ditch effort. Please help us promote this as much as possible, because we couldn't even get half the county to do it. And we got only about a quarter of the county to come back and get their 2nd dose. So they've done everything. I mean, just the other day during the farmer's market, they were driving around a billboard bus, like a digital billboard bus that looked like this, but it had a digital video playing on the screen. And there was, like, you know, club music blaring from it. It sounded like a concert was going on, and it drove by, and it was a vaccine truck. So this is what they're doing. They're trying to get the younger crowd, the people that are the most hesitant, that have a brain on their heads, and say, I probably don't need this. It doesn't sound that dangerous. I mean, you know, honestly, once I look into the vaccine, it sounds more dangerous than the beer virus. So just risk versus benefit, folks. If everybody knew about the true risks, I think it would be a very easy decision. So there's not really anybody here. There's only 12 or 15 people in the observation area. It's been very slow. Clearly the campaign is almost done. It's just people trickling in that haven't quite got the vaccine yet. And you know what's sad is that a lot of the people showing up now are not people that even want it. You know, I talked to a woman the other day who was at the site outside the farmer's market, and she said she did not even want to get it. She was glad to see me and she was hungry for information, but she didn't want to get it. She was like, it sucks. I didn't want to do this, but I have to travel for work overseas. And, you know, the sheer threat of not being able to travel is making people go get it. People that aren't necessarily for or against, but they just weren't going to do it. And now they're risking their life basically and taking this experimental drug with no liability, no long-term safety data, and from an industry that has proven to cause harm with deadly products. So it's just sad. I had another person send me a image of a Wawa flyer that basically said that Wawa employees would get $300 cash if they got the vaccine. And I'm seeing plenty of other companies do this as well, and it's just unfortunate. I mean, what's the price tag on your life? Seriously, I mean, is $300-400 worth taking this and never walking again, or having violent convulsions in your legs for the rest of your life? I mean, it's just insane. So, you know, the person who sent it to me told me that, you know, multiple people at his job were like, wow, man, $300, yeah, I'm probably gonna do it. I could use $300. I mean, a lot of people could use $300 after a pandemic, you know, even despite the supplemental stimulus funds. So it just sucks that they're using everything, including coercion, gift prizes, cash, drugs, alcohol, burgers. I mean, everything you can name. Just a reminder that real pandemics, real deadly pandemics, do not require cash prizes, donuts, incentives, coercion, dangling the carrot, like they've said, to get our freedoms back. I mean, that's not how real pandemics work. That's not how safe and effective, trustworthy medicine works, where you have to basically force people to get it. And now they're talking about having vaccinated and non-vaccinated sections. So people think they can't go to games now unless they get it, or they're gonna have to sit in the unvaccinated section. It's dangerous with social distancing. It's just so, they're literally creating two classes of society. And if there wasn't another way to just divide us and separate us more, I mean, this is really it. So we've got to push back against all of these mandates. We have to push back against the masks on our kids. We have to push back on vaccine passports, even if businesses still try to do it. We have to push back on the cruise industry, trying to mandate vaccines to cruise. And not just for guests, for employees too, because those people also matter and are also being forced to do this. So we've just got to keep pushing. I also just want to advise everyone to be very cautious and careful if you ever do this at a vaccine site. You don't ever want to antagonize any of the people getting vaccinated. I don't even record them. You can't really record them, I guess. They're inside the bus, but I don't even like recording them in the observation tent because it's technically like recording someone getting a medical procedure. Why they're getting a medical procedure on a sidewalk at a public park, I don't know. It sounds like they have every right to be filmed at that point, but it's just weird and I don't like doing it. And I also don't want to come off as, again, I don't want to act like I'm trying to stop them or block them. So all we're doing is educating. And as I'm walking around, I'm not even sort of walking directly in front of the group. I'm near them. They're right over my shoulder back there where you can see those people coming from. But you don't want to just like, you don't want to yell at them. I don't have the megaphone. I don't want to shout things at the people getting vaccinated or the people after they've been vaccinated. I mean, God forbid, let's say they are going to have a bad reaction. The last thing I want to do is go over there and start screaming negative things at them, making them nervous and paranoid and uneasy and anxious, potentially leading to a reaction. So I try to be very cool, calm, collected, quiet, and respectful, and just hold my sign, talk to the passersby, talk to the park security, the EMTs, the FEMA workers, the health department workers, educate everybody who's interested. Plant seeds with people willing to listen. There's gonna be some trolls, there's gonna be some rude people, but you just ignore them the best you can. I'm not always perfect with that, but you just have to ignore them. Talk to the people who wanna listen, the people who are on the fence, ready to learn. Those are the people we have to focus on. But yes, the big tips out here, because it's a touchy situation being at a vaccine site, is calm, factual, and respectful. So there's some other ways that you can get involved this month. Please show up if you can, anyone and everyone. Bring a friend, bring the family. Come to the Seminole County School Board meeting or the Orange County School Board meeting. They're both at the same time on the same day, so you can't do both. But obviously pick the one of the county you live in or the county you live closest to, and please show up and speak in opposition to the masks. The school boards are trying to keep the masks on the kids for the time being, and we need to push back at every single opportunity. It doesn't matter how many weeks are left in the school year. One day is too many to have these kids masks when the virus is not even a threat to them. So if you can, please show up. I'll post the links for that. If you want to speak, anyone can speak. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to live in the county. Just show up and show support. We need to fill the room, have people outside with signs, the whole 9 yards. That's Tuesday, May 11th at, I believe, one of them's at 5 p.m. and one's at 6:30 p.m. In addition to that, the Millions March Against Mandatory Vaccines is coming up. This is a worldwide annual event. This is the 3rd annual event, and it is taking place in Australia, Europe, a whole host of states in America. And we are having one in Orlando and Tampa this year. Working alongside the Florida Freedom Keepers, we are hosting this at Cocoa Beach, is the Orlando location. So we are spicing things up and doing a rally at the beach. Why, you ask? Why don't we do it in Orlando? Well, it's Memorial Day weekend. No one will be in Orlando. Everyone will be at the beach traveling. So we are going to have it where everyone is going to be at, basically. So as hundreds of people are pouring into Cocoa Beach for a busy Saturday Memorial Day weekend, we are going to be at one of the high visibility intersections, waving signs like this, educating people about the vaccine risks. And the focus will be no vaccine passports, which, yes, they've been banned in Florida, and yes, Florida seems free, I'm sure, to everyone watching the news, but they're still trying to mandate it for cruise ships. They're still trying to put masks on our kids. So we're not going to stop, and we're not going to let up, even if we're freer, quote unquote, than most states. So if you would like to get involved in that event, please reach out to me. I've got information on Tampa and Orlando. And also reach out if you're curious about another city or state that's hosting one. If they are not hosting one, you can absolutely host one yourself. You don't need to be a part of any group or anything special. You can just create a Facebook event, create a events meetup, and there you have it. If you build it, the people will come. We can help promote it, and we can get your event off the ground.